The SEC takes another massive L as they have raised a white flag, thrown the towel in on naming Ethereum a security as the Wells notice to Consensus and Joseph Lubin, one of the co-founders of Ethereum, is now gone. No lawsuit, no Wells notice. They're not going to pursue it. What does that mean for the rest of the crypto markets? Is this the key that's going to unlock a massive rally in the altcoins? We're going to discuss that. Also, money continues to flow out of the Bitcoin ETF. What is going on? When can we expect more inflows? We're going to discuss that. We're going to take a look at some AI coins. Also, which VC is launching $1 billion fund, and what sector are they really looking to launch that capital into? We're going to take a look at that. We also have some news on Base, and Coinbase is looking to allow its people, its consumers, customers, to trade coins that aren't even launched or listed yet. What does that mean? Is that good or bad? We're going to have that discussion. Some Polygon news. Haven't shared that in a while. Is Polygon a sleeper pick, or are there better projects out there to get better returns for your money? We're going to have that conversation on today's episode of City Crypto. Let's go.
Your boy, Big Rob, back in the house. Welcome to Sin City Crypto. If it's your first time checking us out, we're the entertainment-focused cryptocurrency channel. We take old, boring, and, well, stale information and repackage that whole thing up in a fun and sexy way. Bitcoin, 65,000. It's holding support. But how much longer will it hold? What do you think? 64? 63? 62?
I've got more downside.
You think so?
Yeah.
Every time people think this, it typically goes the other way. So that's why I
just like that. You see those memes where it's like, when I buy, it goes down. When I sell, it goes up. And when I wait, it just chops sideways. The markets are irrational. I mean, if you literally spend your time trying to front run a market, try to front run traders, try to time the exact bottom, the exact top, you're going to lose money. Let's just face it. That is why so many people say just DCA, man. Have the projects you want, that you have your eye on, that you're bullish on long term. Have the 3 little baskets. Did a video on that. And then just keep it simple, man. Keep it simple, stupid. Kiss. So that's kind of the thing. And you're never going to perfectly time the top. You're never going to perfectly time the bottom. So don't try to do it. You're going to drive yourself crazy trying to accomplish something that's not going to happen. Speaking of accomplishing things, we are starting to accomplish... I don't know where that segue was going. We have Ashley joining us in the studio. Ashley, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? Where was that going?
I was something about education and teaching you about crypto, but it just fell flat. So.
Yeah, you taught me so much.
I give you permission to cue the womp, womp, womp if you'd like to. No?
No need, thank you.
No need to. Wow. Wow, Rocco's
It's so bad that it doesn't even deserve a sound effect.
It doesn't deserve a sound effect. Anyways.
Yeah, what a great week this has been. We've had the Caspa guys in studio. We do have our Caspa exclusive video dropping either tomorrow or Friday. And a lot of good info in there. I asked someone, and I'll leave it very broad. I asked someone that was sitting on this desk, do you see a tier 1 exchange listing by the end of the year? And you're going to want to hear his answer. And not just a tier 1, but a top 5. You're going to want to watch that video. It's going to be really, really good. A lot of great conversations. So big shout out to all the Caspa fans. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Now, you see the thumbnail on the TV. You see that? What is that? That is a scoreboard. 1-0, 1-0 Ethereum. And what do I mean by that? Well, you guys remember, you're watching, and Robin, of course, you remember. The SEC served a Wells notice to Consensus, the creator of the MetaMask wallet, right? They got Ethereum developers, Joseph Lubin, Ethereum co-founder, served a Wells notice. We've been hearing the SEC wants to label Ethereum a security. That is done. What does that mean for the rest of the market? Let's take a look here what Consensus tweeted. Ethereum service survives the SEC. Today, we're happy to announce a major win for Ethereum developers, technology providers, and industry participants. The enforcement division of the SEC has notified us that it is closing its investigation into Ethereum 2.0. This means that the SEC will not bring charges alleging that sales of ETH are securities transactions. And Joseph Lubin reposted that and said this. Excuse me. The SEC's decision to close this inquiry marks a significant victory for Ethereum and the Web3 community as a whole. It's a testament to the strength and decentralized technology and the unyielding spirit of innovation that drives our builders. While we welcome this development, it's not enough. We must remain vigilant and continue advocating for clear and fair regulations that enable innovation to flourish. The fight for a transparent and supportive regulatory environment is far from over, but I have complete faith that our community can ensure and cement the bright future of Web3 technologies. I want to put something into perspective here, okay? We have gone from Bitcoin is only used by scammers, by drug lords, by terrorists, by terrorism financing. Then it's like, it's only used for money laundering. We've come to a point where we've essentially strong-armed the Securities and Exchange Commission of the most powerful capital markets in the world to stop harassing us. I want to just put that into perspective here for you, okay? We now have both political candidates that are running for presidency on either side of the aisle who are going so far out that Donald Trump, every single rally he is at, he brings up crypto, naming himself the crypto president. We have Joe Biden leaks that Joe Biden is going to be meeting with crypto people and Web3 and blockchain innovators. This has become a hot topic issue, and we essentially forced our way in there. And so big shout out to everyone in the crypto community. This is a massive win for the entire space, for us as a whole. This is super exciting, man. To see where we were 2 years ago, where we weren't sure, is capital going to come in? Are people going to be too afraid? Who knows? The SEC going to shut it down? Is Coinbase going to go under? It kind of seems like all that's gone, right? I mean, it's pretty bullish, man. This Ethereum was very bullish. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think when we had the approval, or basically the green light on the ETH ETF, I think it pretty much sounded the horn that the SEC was going to leave Ethereum alone, right? They wouldn't allow the ETF if it was deemed a security, right? And we saw that over these congressional hearings where the SEC, or particularly Gary Gensler, was asked to testify and would sit in front and answer questions. Some of the questions he received was, is Ethereum a security? And he was hesitant and basically would avoid the question, not answer it. And so there was always this kind of cloud, right? Is Ethereum post the merge, moving to proof of stake, is it a security? The SEC wouldn't clarify it. But when they passed that ETF, that was it, man. That was them saying that, hey, this is a commodity product, or at least it's not a security. And no surprise that they ended up dropping the lawsuit, right? They hadn't got there yet, but the Wells notice was the first step in saying, hey, prepare for a lawsuit.
Rob, now, do you think that the next step is, because we know Coinbase is currently in litigation, right? Do you think that Coinbase, that lawsuit is next?
They're different. The thing is seriously, they approved an Ethereum spot traded product. That's them saying that Ethereum token is not a security. The lawsuit for Coinbase, now I'm not justifying the lawsuit, but it's completely different. It's in the same financial sector, right? It's in cryptocurrency, but they're completely different products. 100% different. One is a crypto blockchain, and they're trying to deem whether or not the ETH token was a sale of security, or if the token itself is a security. Coinbase is an exchange that's offering securities and selling them as a broker. Well, and so that they're in the same. I guess topic. They're in the same sector. They're both in crypto, but they're 100% different lawsuits. So,
but the lawsuit focuses on two things, right? First thing it focuses on is unregistered securities, sale of that, which ETH is the largest.
Coinbase has sold nothing.
But that's what the SEC is suing them for, right?
They're suing them for offering unregistered securities.
Correct. Right.
But they're not
and also
selling,
staking as well.
But they're not selling their selling their Coinbase token, right? They don't have a token. They're not selling it. So it's different. Yeah, they're selling. They're operating as an exchange.
But do you get the parallel? Do you get the parallel I'm trying to draw here? The parallel I'm trying to draw here is
what you're saying is that they're getting sued for selling securities, and they're getting sued for offering staking,
right?
And they were suing Ethereum for selling securities. I understand, but it's still two different businesses, two different business models. The thing is Coinbase isn't going to be traded as an ETF product. So in approving an ETF for Ethereum, they basically said, okay, Ethereum is not okay. How about this? Think about this. Is there any way possible, if you would before reading this news, would have there been any way possible we would have got an Ethereum ETF launched, traded on Wall Street, BlackRock, whatever, all these asset managers are out here rolling around with their ETH ETFs. Would the SEC would have been able to come in later and say, hey, ETH's a security, guys. We're suing everybody. No. So basically, when they offered that ETF, that was them saying, okay, yeah, we good. ETH, we good. Like it's you. And so that's the moment. Coinbase, they're not an ETF. They're not going to be an ETF. They are an exchange, a broker dealer, and they are getting sued for similar things, but it's a completely different business model that has nothing to do with.
I actually think this has a big effect on the Coinbase lawsuit, right? If part of the lawsuit from the SEC is we're suing you because you offer unregistered securities on your platform. Well, you take a look at the largest layer one, the largest smart contract platform, the second largest cryptocurrency in the entire world, Ethereum. If that is deemed not a security, I think this strengthens Coinbase's case when they go to court and say, look, we don't offer any unregistered securities. You guys even dropped your lawsuit. You're not going after Ethereum. So how is Ethereum different from Cardano, different from Solana, from Avalanche, from Toncoin, from anything else listed on Coinbase? Excuse me. I think it strengthens their case against the SEC. And I think potentially, I don't think it's a probability, but potentially we can see that lawsuit Wells notice get dropped as well.
No chance. No chance. There's no chance. At least not with the SEC.
Maybe the thing they can hang their hat on the SEC is the staking part.
All I would say is that the SEC's not looking good with the track record, especially if this
has got to be the most unsuccessful SEC chair, right?
Well, I mean, it depends. So crypto is, I think, from the total of the total value of crypto versus traditional finance, and also the fines that they're dropping on traditional finance, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, these giant asset managers, they have a huge amount of.
But Rob, those are fines. That's not litigation, right?
No. Go look at we discuss crypto. Go look at how many enforcement actions are dropped by the SEC on an annual basis. Crypto is a minute part of it. So I can't go and say, hey, the SEC is the most unsuccessful branch of government, and this time around they're doing terrible, because you know what? It's such a small part of their enforcement umbrella, right? And so I know a lot of times here in crypto, we kind of overblow crypto's reach. But
I did a quick search, right? What is the SEC's win rate when it comes to lawsuits? 90%, right? Going into, let's say, 2022, end of 2021, when we started seeing these Wells notices and the SEC attacking, library credit and all these other projects.
But that's win rate. That's actual litigation in court, right?
Correct. Yeah.
And so how many companies have won against the SEC in crypto? Won a lawsuit. Like the judge dropped the gavel and was like, SEC, sorry.
Okay. Also, you look at that. You look at the debt box or whatever. They got sued for that. The SEC got sued for that because of what they were doing. Library credits, they had to run that one back as well. Now the Ethereum thing, they dropped it because they knew they were going to lose.
They're not.
Grayscale ETF, they lost.
They're not having success in crypto as of late. 100%. But I can't sit here and say the SEC just looks stupid across the board. And
they're pretty stupid.
No, in crypto they look stupid, but I mean, at the end of the day, like, bro, the SEC manages the New York Stock Exchange and all of the companies that trade on there. There's one product, Bitcoin, that trades on there. That's it. And then there's a handful of miners and Coinbase.
They can't even win that.
You got a handful of miners, Coinbase, and then you got an ETH. You have a Bitcoin ETF, and then that small percentage is not even what's the ETF value? 200 billion for Bitcoin ETF.
The value, like how much they hold?
Yeah, assets under management.
Close to 45, 50 billion.
45 to $50 billion. I
can double check right now.
I thought it was more than that, right?
I hope it's more than that. Well, we also, you got to remember too, Rob, we've had
think about how much money is in the stock exchange. What's the valuation of Nvidia? I know
52.6 billion.
$50 billion is what the SEC is managing. It's tiny, dude. I'm sorry. Like, I know we talk about the SEC like they have.
Are you a Fed?
No, I'm just saying, like, you think that the SEC, you think it's like the Crypto Exchange Commission. It's not. It's the Securities and Exchange Commission, and you know what? They decided to try to enforce crypto, and they're not doing a good job of it. But
they're losing. They're flat out losing in crypto.
They are,
and that's a good thing, right?
Yeah,
that's what we've been waiting for. But I think this is gonna have repercussions for the rest of the markets in a good way. Because anytime now moving forward, a project or team or DAO or exchange gets sued for a listing of unregistered securities, they're just going to point the finger and say, yeah, remember
Ethereum has got nothing to do with exchanges. Here's what this...
Are you special? Are you special? They literally sued Coinbase for offering unregistered securities, and Ethereum was one of them. So my point is, if now they've dropped the lawsuit and they're not going after Ethereum, because it's
Ethereum is not an exchange. They were suing Ethereum for their token being a security. That was it, or the sale of their token being a security. Coinbase is getting sued as an exchange.
For listing unregistered securities.
Listing, yes, listing. They're not a blockchain, bro. How about this? If they drop a Wells notice on Cardano, let's just say they drop a Wells notice on Cardano, right? They're about to go to lawsuit with Cardano. If all of a sudden they pass an ETF for Cardano, their lawsuit is null, bro. It won't work. It won't work anymore because that's them saying that it's not a security, it's a commodity. You can offer an ETF. Go ahead and trade it.
Let me ask you this question, and this should wrap up this conversation real quick. When XRP got sued, when Ripple got sued, what did Coinbase do? They delisted, right? When XRP won, what did Coinbase do? They relisted, correct?
They didn't win, but okay.
That part of the argument, that part of the lawsuit, they won. Coinbase immediately relisted them.
Yeah.
Why did they delist them? Is because they were worried about the unregistered security bullshit.
Yeah.
And so that's gone now. And so what I'm trying to say is it's going to help the rest of the markets. Maybe these exchanges.
Is that gone? They said that Cardano, Polygon, they had a ton of different, and the one that wasn't listed on there was Ethereum. And so in the lawsuit to Coinbase, in the Wells notice, there's a list. I think it's 8 cryptos long. Ethereum was not one of them. And so I don't understand how this has anything to do with that particular court case. Now, maybe the SEC's losing one after another. Maybe they don't stand a chance because of momentum. I don't know. But what I'm saying is that the SEC never told through the Wells notice to Coinbase, Ethereum is a security. They never said it. They never said that. It was never in their lawsuit. So their lawsuit was, Coinbase, you're selling illegal securities. Here they are. They're the list. ETH wasn't on there. So I don't know why all of a sudden they're going to drop the court case on Coinbase. Like, I just don't get it. They dropped the court case on Ethereum because they said it's a commodity and they're selling it. They're selling the commodity. Next month, In 2 weeks, you're going to be able to buy Ethereum as a commodity on the stock exchange. You can't sue them and say it's a security. You can't. And I don't know why in God's earth are they going to drop a lawsuit because they have an ETF product. I just don't get it. Tell me how that has changed.
I'm done with this conversation.
Your face is turning red. Are you okay?
Yeah, are you okay?
I'm good.
The blood pressure's
I don't see any parallel here other than it's one crypto. They dropped the lawsuit in this crypto. They got to they drop every single lawsuit in crypto because they dropped the one on Ethereum. If it has anything to do with a crypto, drop the lawsuit. We're done. You know what? Matter of fact, we're just going to close the SEC because we keep losing lawsuits. SEC is losing too much. We're just going to retire, and we're going to move to Indonesia.
I didn't say they're going to drop it. I said I wouldn't be surprised if they stopped going after them and other exchanges, but we'll leave the conversation at that. Let's talk about ETF flows. So Robin's blood pressure can come down a little bit.
The vein in his neck is about to pop out.
So we have ETF flows yesterday as the negative red days continue for the fourth straight trading day. 152 million flowed out of the Bitcoin ETFs. BlackRock, second day in a row of a goose egg, $0 of inflows, but $0 of outflows. I guess that's a positive, right? Fidelity continued its 4-day streak of outflows, coming in at 83.1 million. Bitwise saw outflows of 7 million. The rest of the space was zero, with the exception of Grayscale, which saw another $62.3 million of outflows, again bringing our cumulative total to 152.4. Grayscale in total, since the ETFs have launched, $18.2 billion worth of Bitcoin has been sold off, flowed out of their ETF. And you guys are tripping because Bitcoin's at $65,000. Take a step back and relax. And then this was kind of funny. Republicans propose a $500 bill with Trump's face on it. This is very alarming to me. Is this a sign of things to come? Does this mean that the value of the dollar is going to start decelerating a lot quicker? As you know, we saw in countries like Venezuela and other countries that have had hyperinflation, their currency is worth so much less that a $1 bill is not going to even get you up one single sunflower seed. And so what do they have to do? They have to create larger bills so they're not flooding the market with just paper. And then in countries like Venezuela, you see that paper on the floor as people are also using it as a toilet paper alternative. And so interesting. But why do I bring this up? I bring this up because part of the reason that me at least, am excited about crypto and blockchain is because the financial system, the fiat system, is so old, outdated, and it's going to fall flat on its face, that you want to be in this space, in projects, looking forward, because at some point you are going to see mass inflation, not only globally, which we're seeing now, but here in the USA as well. And don't be surprised you start seeing $500 bills, $1,000 bills, $10,000 bills as things get worse. And all I'll say is don't get left holding the bag or the bag with the big hole on the bottom. Then I want to talk about this. So this is pretty cool. TipLink, which is a Solana-based wallet or Solana-based dApp, now allows users to send crypto globally with just an email, even if the recipient doesn't have a wallet. And here's a quick 40-second demo. Points and the barriers to entry in crypto. And who's going to solve it? It feels like it's always a Solana project. It's always Solana itself. But this is pretty bullish. I mean, what are your thoughts on this? To be able to send someone stable coins and not have to worry about them. Do you have a wallet? Is it the right link? Is it on Ethereum? Is it on Solana? Is it on this? Send them a link. They click it. You don't have a wallet. Cool. It'll go into your account. Put it into your bank account.
Yeah, I don't think this is the first one. I think this is the first one that maybe is on Solana. I've seen another service like this before. But either way, this is the direction we're going, right? This is as long as you remove the error points. I know you mentioned pain points, right? Pain points. For me, I think pain points are like, hey, you know, what do I got to download? Oh crap, I got to account here. Oh, I got to connect this. I got to log into Plaid and then verify my bank account. Or, you know, there's always a lot of boxes to check and finance and connecting things, right? And probably there's a good reason for it. You know, you obviously don't want to compromise your account. But my thing is I think get rid of the errors, right? Get rid of I burnt my tokens because I sent it to the wrong address. I think that's the first one we got to knock out, right? The very first thing we got to do is just be like, hey man, can I just not lose my money doing this? Like, let me just send my buddy or ask my friend to send me some money. I mean, imagine if you got on the Cash App and then you're like, hey man, I meant to send you dollars, but accidentally sent you pesos. And anyways, it's all gone, all $25,000. Like, what do you mean? Like, I picked the wrong currency and it doesn't exist anymore. We're like, that can't happen. Like, that can't happen. Like, okay, if I got to create 5 more accounts or whatever it is and connect a bunch of stuff, that's annoying. But I think step one, which I think is addressed here with this one, step one is let's stop burning tokens. I think that just can't happen, right? Unless you do it intentionally. Like, you want to like decrease the supply. You want to burn some tokens for whatever reason. But in sending a transaction, let's just make it impossible for the user to burn tokens unless you're natively on chain using traditional crypto. Like, it ain't ever going to change. You send Bitcoin to an ETH address, it's done. It's gone. Right? Yeah. It's gone. Like, that ain't ever going to change. They're not going to do a hard fork or propose a bit proposal to change. Like, the Bitcoin community is just too stubborn. They would never do it. But anyways, for everything else, like, let's move on. Let's stop burning tokens, and let's make it so that way we'll start there, especially with the dApps and developers. Let's fix that problem. I feel like it's a doable fix here included, and then from there, let's get rid of the pain points.
What did you call it? You said not pain points. You said, what was it? I
don't know. Yeah, forget.
It was a good one. If it comes to you, say it because it was a good one. Now, you spoke about burning tokens. Well, guess what, Robin? The largest DEX aggregator in the entire crypto space is looking to burn 30% of its supply, and that is none other than Jupiter and their Jupe token have proposed a proposal to their DAO, to the governance, that aims to burn 3 billion tokens worth $2.3 billion of the total Jupe supply. Now, this reduction, this is very intriguing here. This reduction of supply will be deducted from team allocation and won't impact the annual Jupiter airdrops to the community. Now, when this first came out, a lot of people were worried, like, hey, does this mean we're not going to get season 2 of airdrops or season 3 of airdrops, which is going to happen every single January for the next 3 years, I believe, right? You got the first airdrop this January. Congratulations. The next one is in next January. But it's coming from the team's allocated tokens. And the one thing with Jupe is their circulating supply to their max supply is not very good. But if you reduce that by 30%, I think this is a big bump in the right direction to their tokenomics. And so this is pretty bullish, man. I mean, what are your thoughts?
I'm just not big into the burning thing. Really not. I feel like if you minted too many tokens, shame on you. Like now all of a sudden you're trying to raise the value. The token came out not even a year ago. What was it, like 4 months ago?
First airdrop was January, yeah.
6 months ago. 6 months ago, now you're like, guys, we got so many tokens, we got to burn this. Like, you just came out 6 months ago. Now you're trying to burn your supply. You messed up. That's the way I look at it.
Okay, so when you mess up, you just quit?
No.
You fix your wrongs, right?
I'm just saying that, like, you're over here saying, this is super bullish. How? How is this bullish? Okay.
Less inflation.
Okay, what determines price? And I'm not saying there isn't a correlation. I by no means do I want to have an argument here and be like that this is insignificant on price action. I'm not saying that. But at the end of the day, whether or not you burn tokens or not, the token itself is going to be what the market determines it. Right? Now, if there's more tokens in circulation, sure, they can dump it, whatever. But at the end of the day, are you using the token? Are people speculating, buying it, holding it long term? If the answer is yes, then yeah, the price will rally when people buy, people hold, you know. But burning, it's short term, right? It's a flash in the pan. It's a news story. It does suppress sell pressure at some point, but I mean, I feel like, hey man, you shouldn't have minted that many damn tokens from the get-go. And so for me, I can't get behind it. I can't clap my hands. If Satoshi made 40 billion Bitcoin, and all of a sudden he's like, guys, I'm lowering this thing down to 20 billion. I'm not gonna be like, good job, Satoshi. That freaking white paper, you really nailed it on that one. No, you messed up. And now all of a sudden you're like, man, we got too many tokens, you know?
So guys, if you mess up, don't try to fix your wrongs, okay? This is a public service announcement brought to you by...
I'm not saying that you don't try to fix it. I'm just saying that you're not going to get my praise. You're not going to get my like, Jupiter, you're doing great. This is so bullish. If you're a fan of Jupiter, like, wow. Like, no, I'm not at all saying that. But at the same time, like, I'm just, cool, yeah, awesome. Y'all minted too many tokens? Yeah, fix it. There you go, cool.
You know what else is cool?
What's that?
Our channel sponsor. Today's show is brought to you by Legacy Network. We are currently in beta testing for their Legacy Academy app. Just, man, can't wait till you guys try it. Should be launching in the next couple of weeks. I just had a call with their founder. He'll be joining our show in the future when this thing goes live. But if you want to stay up to date on everything Legacy Network and how you can self-improve and make money in the meantime as well, click the link in the description of the video, join the Telegram, and stay up to date. Be one of the first people to download the app on iOS or Android when it goes live.
I know what your least favorite cryptos are, right? I know the ones that you hate. You know,
which is what?
Hex is up there. XRP
I love
gotta
Hex,
be
man.
on there.
I love XRP, right, Rocco?
But you know, sure. Sometimes it's not about Hex, it's about checks. So what is if one's gotta go out of the checks mix, which one are you gonna
The square pretzel.
The square pretzel?
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say the rye chip, man.
Rye chip's good.
No, that thing's terrible. Yeah.
I like the rye chip. But there's no need to have two pretzels, right? Square pretzel, circle pretzel. Get rid of the square one. Keep the circle one.
Wow, not in the least look.
No squares allowed. No squares allowed. God. Do you remember when Bored Apes were like 180 ETH?
Yeah, what did the price like?
9
ETH?
9 ETH. Remember Other Deeds? You were so bullish on this, Robbie. Remember? Their metaverse? Kidding, you were not bullish on it.
Okay.
0.17. Mutant Apes once carrying a price tag of 35, well, actually north of 40 ETH, 1.47. Man.
And the thing is I was looking I was looking at it probably about 3 weeks ago. Just these top projects. I think most of these, I was kind of just scrolling through. I was like, what's going on in NFT? These prices, there's no liquidity for this either. And I know liquidity, you take it as a grain of salt for in NFT space, but there's just no volume. There's not a demand. These things aren't moving. There's only 1 or 2 getting sold a day. Like realistically, I know there's some transactions that they try to make it look like there's more volume, but at the end of the day, these things aren't moving. And so good luck even selling one of these things and even getting that price. Like if you tried to sell a Bored Ape today, like how long do you think it's going to take to get 10 ETH for your Bored Ape? Probably going to be if you can get it for that price, it's going to be a while, right? I would expect it to be listed for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, right? So you agree? Maybe a 2-3 week?
I think it also depends on which. Here's my thing. If you're spending this amount of money on an NFT when NFTs are dead, you're probably getting it because some intangible reason, right? It looks like me, or it looks like how I would dress, or whatever the case may be. But as an investment, I don't know. I mean, you look at it. You look at a blue chip NFT project that ran up to 160 Ethereum. You can get it at 99% off, and no one's biting. It continues to go down.
Nobody is buying this crap as it looks like me, and I like the art. That was always the dumbest thing I've ever heard. When the NFTs were popping off, like, I'm buying it because of the art. I'm like, these things, I have never seen any of them, and I'm like, oh my God, I need one of these beautiful Picassos here. Like no. There were 10,000.
Don't be dragging Picasso into this.
10,000 of the same replicated freaking silhouette with a different hat and a cigar or red eyeballs. It was so cringe, bro. Like, and you know what? The art might have looked cool. It might have been like cool for a profile, but you can't sit here and tell me it was $500,000 cool. It was $70,000 cool. Like, even the 10 Ethereum floor Bored Ape is still $35,000. Like, you're telling me that art is worth $35,000? Absolutely. Hell to no. Now, if it would have been like a one of one, and I know they're all one of one technically, but if they would have actually been a one of one, and it wouldn't have been, well, a great monkey, but this one, he has a hat on. The other one, he's got sunglasses on. Like, that's not a one of one. Like, that's not.
What's going on with you?
I was going to say,
You're
how
on
many Red
fire.
Bulls have you had today?
Jeez.
Rocco, lock up the Red Bulls in the fridge.
I brought the espresso, but I didn't know that was the first.
Hey, I picked all the topics that get a reaction out of Robin today. It's one
Good
thing I like
job.
to do once every 3 months. I'm looking at the activity here and looking at the sales. 1 hour ago, you had one sell for 8.85 ETH. 8.8.
Is this the Bored Apes?
Yeah.
You're selling one an hour.
Yeah, that's not good.
And there's. And what was the last sale? You said 8 ETH?
Yeah, 8.8.
Yeah, not even the floor. The only reason I probably sold is someone was probably like,
Probably an offer they took.
yeah.
So like, all jokes aside, do you think there's any positive expected value of maybe taking a shot at this thing running back to 20?
I can never discount the crypto.
But is the risk to reward there?
For me personally, no. But I can never discount community, man. And sometimes you look at these meme coins, you look at these altcoins, you look at speculative projects, and you're like, yeah, that thing is dead. And then all of a sudden it'll come back. Now, whether or not it's back for good, but no, I mean, could it come back? Sure. Am I personally going to put money into it? And do I have conviction behind it? Absolutely not. There's not a Satoshi out there that could get me to buy one of these NFTs in the 10,000 format version. In that version. Now, I like the NFTs. I think if I can get a well-known artist that has a good reputation and he can create individual pieces as NFTs, maybe as a set. So instead of doing 10,000 of the same damn picture that's just slightly changed, if you could get, hey, you know what? Here's a or say he does like a mural or something, and you can get like a little piece of a bunch of different art. Like, sure, that's
So you're
cool.
thinking more fine art on blockchain
Yeah,
versus
collectibles, 100%. You know, that's how art is. That's how art has been. Now, all of a sudden, it's got to be mass produced in a 10,000 version. Like, why not? There are art dealers out here in Vegas. They have they have those auctions. Those draw millions and millions of dollars per piece. Like, why not get these artists that are up and coming to create art and put those individually on a blockchain and then buy it there? And I think that makes much more sense.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it's a good risk to reward investment. Looking at a Bored Ape down 99%. For prices to even get close, it's not going to be the money that's already sloshing around the markets. It's going to be new people. And are new people really going to come in and spend? ETH is at $5,000. Spend 50 grand on a profile picture? I don't think so. I really don't. With that being said, let's take a look at the markets, Robin.
All right. So as we mentioned, Bitcoin right at that 65,000 mark. So how will this hold? We did dip below 65,000 yesterday, right around after the show, but regained that. I'm just curious, man. I mean, you look back on the 1 week. You know, I know you talked about it feels like we're gonna go lower. I think that this 65,000. I think this is it, man. You know, you look at the 1 month. You know, we're trending down here on the month. You know, a month ago we were 68,000, and you know, but you look at the year. I just think that this consolidation we got up to 60,000. We got up to 60,000 back in March. And so it's been 3 months now. And you know what happens when Bitcoin consolidates for 3 months, right? It's generally a giant move. So I would expect big breakout within the next, I'd say 2-3 weeks, man. I know we've been kind of saying this over and over again, but it's coming. It's coming. We are in a bull market. We know where the general direction or trend is. I think there's just a little steam has run out of Bitcoin as of lately, but I think it's going to pick up steam here again. Now,
And I think a key factor too will be with the ETH ETF launching, are we going to see outflows from the Bitcoin ETF because now people want to have some exposure to ETH with the same money that they have in Bitcoin? Or are we going to see fresh capital flow in?
It's new money coming into crypto in general. And maybe it's not quite of the bigger rally for Bitcoin, and maybe we get that altcoin summer. Maybe the alts outperform Bitcoin substantially, at least more than we've seen in local history. But I'm not sure. I don't know what to expect from the broader markets with this Ethereum ETF. I know what to expect from Ethereum. This thing is gonna outperform people's expectations. Put it that way. And Ethereum's up 5% right now, so it's kind of leading the way. I mean, for the most part, out of the top 10 projects. Looking at some of the other gainers on the altcoin list. You got Fetch AI up 20% on the 24 hours, making up some big losses. The AI sector got hit pretty hard this recent pullback. Still down 17% on the week. Singularity Net down 17%. Akash Network down 18%. And so a lot of these projects that are focused on AI took some punches, but they're rebounding. Also, Lido is up. Not surprised here. Maybe when you guys see these, remember to keep an eye on sectors. And if you would have seen this, if you would have saw the breaking news on Ethereum, could you have gotten a position on Lido, right when the news broke? Maybe. You can see here it went from $2.25 to $2.40. And that's off of the news. So I don't know, something to keep an eye out. Some of the big pullbacks today, not too much red. Just Jasmine Toncoin is the only thing down. Toncoin's only down 0.5%. So altcoins are looking pretty good today.
We'll see. We haven't seen that explosive bull market rally. I'm gonna go to a Bitcoin chart really quick. And so we're at a key level for Bitcoin on the daily here as we are testing the lower bound of our cloud. The uptrend is still intact according to this indicator, but we are at a very key level. If this support breaks, which is right around that 64.6 level, as you can see here yesterday, we wicked down there, came right above, and we're printing a spinning top right now. But if this breaks, the next level that we're looking at, because you see a gap in volume here, is going to be this 63.2 level. And you can see here a lot of volume coming in at that area. Is that going to be buyers or sellers? You also look at, this area here, how has price reacted? You see going back to February and the February of this year, we saw 3 consecutive days of price wick above this area get rejected until we saw a final breakout. We gave everything back the next day. So we had a big breakout on March 4th. This was an 8% candle, which we broke up to around 68.4. The very next day, we gave it all back, but caught support at that 62.6 level. Then we had our massive rally, came back down, closed this candle on March 19th below, but the very next day reclaimed it, came back to retest, that held, broke below, came back, reclaimed, broke below, broke above. And so this area and the most recent times you can see here, this was back May 9th and May 14th or May 13th, we bumped up against this area and then we finally broke out. Are we going to come back and retest this? I think this area is very, very key. Again, that's 63.2 to 63.4 level. Lots of volume there. Could we see a reversal for Bitcoin? But if we do break below this cloud and we spend any significant time, we could see the momentum turn bearish for BTC. Now, you mentioned AI and how the markets have been bleeding. You know, NVIDIA is now the number one most, the biggest company in the world, right? In terms of valuation. Pantera Capital is looking to raise $1 billion for early stage crypto and AI projects. Now, a lot of people hear the word VC and they're kind of turned off, right? Think about dumping coins, getting a big allocation, getting in before the average person, and then just dumping on retail. But this is where money is flowing, and AI is a big one. And so you want to keep your eye on some AI projects. And one that I kind of came across, we talk about artificial intelligence, and the other big one, Robin, why did NVIDIA become the number one most valuable company in the world, is GPUs, right? And so you talk about a project like IONET, the Internet of GPUs is finally here, developed for large-scale AI startups. So essentially, this allows you to have decentralized clusters, streamlined cluster deployment, instant payment on Solana, and is hardware that you can buy out of the box that is already pre-configured, where you can plug in and use or rent out that GPU processing power and earn money that way as well. This is a token that's gotten a lot of attention. We take a look here. It's at $3 and
It's a crypto project that has hardware?
yeah, kind of like, think about like Helium, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, so it's pretty good. We saw what happened with Helium. Helium absolutely skyrocketed, and of course the bear market hit. But you take a look here, ranked number 175 on Crypto Rank, just shy of $4 million or $4, $376 million market cap. Now the max supply in Cirque supply is pretty off kilter, but the good news is, because it is a fairly newly launched project, we take a look at the vesting schedule here. And when can we expect a lot of those tokens to be unlocked? You have the community and the Binance launch pool that are currently in unlocking period. The Binance launch pool one will end before the year is over. But the one that people worry about when they see this big discrepancy in circulating supply and max supply is, hey, the early investors, the initial core contributors, the seed sale, and the series funding. When are those going to become unlocked? And well, we don't have to worry about those till over a year from now, right? June 2025 is when those begin their linear unlocks. And what we know in bull markets, as more money starts piling in faster, unlocks have a lot less impact on the markets, on the open markets, than they do in, let's say, a bear market. So we believe this thing has a lot of room to run. Take a look at the markets. Where is it listed? How accessible is it? It is available on the largest exchange in the world, which is Binance. It is available on KuCoin. It is available on some of the biggest perpetual trading or futures trading exchanges like BitGet, like Bybit, like BingX and LBank. And then we take a look at some of their social media posts. So like, who are they connected to? So one of the things here is, another big sector here is RWA, right? Real world asset tokenization. So this was a post from their page here. Tokenized RWAs are a perfect use case for revenue generating assets like GPUs. Through Compute Labs, the supplier base on IONET will not only become more decentralized, but the ownership of these enterprise-grade assets will become more accessible and decentralized. And they're kind of quoting this post here from Compute Labs. Take a look here. I'm going to go back here. You can take a look at their fundraising. Who have they raised money from? They obviously have their launch pool on Binance, but they've raised money from Animoca. They've raised money from Solana Ventures, from Delphi Ventures, from OKX. And so when you see big exchanges have investment in these projects, they tend to list them. And OKX, by volume, is the third largest exchange in the world. And so very intriguing here. And then the one more thing I want to show here from the OKX Ventures. So we're hosting a portfolio meeting in 24 hours featuring AI crypto builders, and it lists IONET here as well. And so could this be a project that kind of plants its flag in the AI space? A lot of narratives going for it. It's got the RWA narrative. It's got the new token narrative, right? The new shiny toy, right? The new blockchain on the block. You have big backing from big players, Binance Launch Pool, OKX. And so this is something to keep an eye on. $390 million market cap. How high can this thing run? We go back and take a look at what exactly is circulating. And I'm going to go back to the overview here. You can see circulating currently is only 95 million tokens. 95 million tokens circulating. It's less than Solana. It's less than Ethereum, less than Cardano, less than all the top projects, the top layer ones. So if this thing catches some legs, we should see some big acceleration, especially seeing that the vesting schedule, we don't have to worry really about big unlocks until a year from now. So we got a lot of room to run. This is something that's on my radar. It's not financial advice, of course, but something that you should definitely keep your eye on. So IONET is one that I'm kind of keeping my eye on. You know, you've been kind of a little bearish on seems like your sentiment on AI lately. Is it just
I
price
just think,
action?
I think there's an overvaluation on AI. I think that AI in its entirety, the whole market, I think is in a bubble. I think it's
Isn't everything in a bubble though?
no, but this is the thing though. Technically, through printing, everything does go in a bubble just because there's money that's just getting handed out or printed or easy cash out there that it's thrown quickly into investments. And at the end of the day, AI is likened to the internet, right? When it first came out, we always hear that, right? But what happened to the internet market when in 2001, right? It had massive valuation compared to the rest of the markets. There were all these new products that really had no legs or business being the value that they were. Everything was overvalued. And then eventually it all came crumbling down. And then over time it got built and the real companies came out of the ashes. I think the same is going to happen with AI. We haven't had that moment in AI where we see who the real companies are and the pretenders. I do think that being in an election year and it being that, there's so much new discovery here in AI, and we got the video side, you have the art as far as image generation, you have voice generation. It's really expanding into all these different new avenues. So it's very exciting. And I think there's more to come here in the short term. But I would be very hesitant on expectations from AI as a general sector and all of the projects underneath it, expanding out past, I would say, 2 years, right? And so from a DCA long-term hodl position, even on something like an NVIDIA, I would be very hesitant. But with that said, I have very short-term time preferences on my investing, and I like to ride the wave. And if I know that there's a ton of interest, like AI ain't going nowhere in the next
Wave is big, bro.
Yeah, the wave is big, and AI is not going anywhere in the next 6 to 8 months. I would say by the end of the calendar year for sure. So right now, I'm pretty much pulling the trigger on anything that is catching momentum in AI because it's going to return big. But I would say maybe next year evaluate my position on AI tokens, projects, stocks, companies, and really just say, hey man, how long is this bubble gonna inflate?
And to be honest, there's a good chance that obviously we know there's going to be AI projects, AI companies, right? Whether it's in Web 2 or Web 3. That are going to be like the Amazon, the Walmart. But you got to remember, Amazon wasn't the first online retailer, right? They just grew fast and now they're the largest. And so chances are what we have on the market today is not going to be the quote unquote winner, although I think the AI sector is going to continue to grow. I mean, it's going to have its tentacles in almost everything we do in our everyday lives, from personal assistance to like creating content, like everything is going to have. And so I think the sector is going to grow. But I think a lot of these projects and I agree with Robin, that gain these mass valuations, a lot of those are probably going to, I don't want to say go extinct, but maybe not be around in the next 5 years. And you'll see the cream slowly rise to the top. And those are the ones that you want to have a long-term position on. But riding the wave, there's nothing wrong with that. Making money, getting out, and then, putting it into different sectors or different economies or whatever the case may be. And so just some little insight there, or at least what I'm doing personally. So this was kind of interesting. So not sure what to think of this. Coinbase gearing up to roll out new feature allowing users to trade altcoins before they launch. So jurisdictions outside of the US, the UK, and Canada will be able to buy perpetual futures contracts for assets that haven't been listed on spot exchanges yet. Coinbase says the upcoming feature will enable traders to participate in price discovery, Though the exchange warns that pre-launch markets carry elevated risks. This was a quote from Coinbase. Given the high-risk nature of pre-launch markets, these markets are more prone to lower liquidity, higher volatility, and increased liquidation risks. Please note that positions for pre-launch markets will not be assigned to participants of our liquidity support program. As such, these markets, will be a higher risk of auto deleveraging compared to standard perpetual futures. I don't know if I'm a fan of this.
Why not?
I don't know.
All it is futures trading, right? That's all it is. It's you can buy a product and not own it, right? You're just speculating on the price. I can say, hey, there's this new token came out. It's 10 cents. Let me buy $1,000 worth of it. Hey, guess what? It gets to $1. I can exit my position and take profits. Or vice versa. I can go to a penny and then, lose my money. But it's all it is it's futures trading. It's the CME version on crypto. That's literally all it is.
It's just interesting. This doesn't sound like something Coinbase would do, right? Coinbase is usually very kind of reserved.
Coinbase is offering staking and like at its core, it's an exchange. Buy, remove your keys. You can go on there. You can buy your Bitcoin. You can remove it, put it in your own hardware wallet. You buy your Ethereum, put it in your hardware wallet. Replace Ethereum, Bitcoin with any token they offer. You can remove it to your own wallet address, right? Here, they're like, you know what? We don't have the liquidity. We don't have order books set up for this. We're not allowing it to trade. You got to think, for Coinbase to list a small token, it's not, a lot of times it's not about, is it deemed a security? They got to have a lot of liquidity. Coinbase can't just all of a sudden list a token that's number 300 on the coin market cap list with $100 million market cap valuation and say, hey, we're going to trade this and only have $10,000, $100,000 worth of the token. They gotta go in and have a ton of liquidity because they have a giant user base. So what's a way around this? Offer a token for people to get gains and just sell it on the price, right? Hey, you can buy that same $100 million market cap token. They don't have to worry about liquidity. They don't have to do anything. You just can't self-custody it, but you can still buy it at the price. I think it's a genius. I think it's great. It's a great product. And for people that I would rather buy. Okay, how about this? Would you rather, let me ask you a question, David. Would you rather buy, let's say, Shiba Inu 2, right? I'm just making something up here. SHIB 2, right? 2. So it's the sequel, right?
Okay.
Let's say that the market cap for it is $50 million. Would you rather pick up $1,000 worth of this token as a long shot? Would you rather pick up $1,000 worth of this token from an offshore exchange and then try to self-custody it? Or would you rather just log into your Coinbase account and put a position in at $1,000 at that price, even though you can't self-custody it?
Yeah. Number 2.
Coinbase?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I just
It's just futures trading, bro.
Yeah, I just, I talk about it all the time. It's your money, do whatever you want. And I'm just, what I'm thinking is like, people are just not smart. I mean, like you put in a position on a coin that's not even on any exchanges yet, doesn't have any liquidity, probably has some insiders, people holding a lot of tokens. I don't know. I think a lot of people are going to lose money.
There's some small crap that is pretty much insignificant on Coinbase already.
Yeah.
They have a pretty deep catalog. I know Coinbase doesn't have the listings of KuCoin and Kraken I don't know about Kraken, but I know they don't have the listing catalog on KuCoin or Binance, but they're still pretty deep. I don't know how many tokens they offer now, but it's definitely in the hundreds. So I know there's some crap ones on there. There's some ones that I bought on Coinbase the last bull market, and I was looking at those.
I wish they had that feature where they locked your money for 10 days,
Mm.
That'll do it for the show today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you're subscribed. That Caspa video is gonna be. Anyone else? Ashley, anything you'd like to add?
I got nothing. Nothing.
Beautiful.
Did it
Is
scare
your-
you
is
when
the
Robin was
vein-
yelling?
No, but is the vein on your neck okay?
Yeah, it's good.
Oh, okay. I'm just making sure.
It's good. You want to see it?
Ashley was very worried. You won't see her face.
She was.
I was not worried.
You know, I found something here.
What'd you find?
Figure
What?
might as well just make it entertaining one. All right, so we got the difference between men and women here.
Great.
Here we go.
Are we gonna hold on? Are we gonna get canceled?
That's it. Boom, right there.
When you getting married again, Rob?
Oh man, I'm done with that.
This was a
Yeah.
bad question. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Got a break.
All right. With that being said, Rocco, you gotta wait, man.
You did it. Come on.
I have to do the
Look.
Anyways, guys, we love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will see you tomorrow, same place, same time. Enjoy the rest of your day. We'll see you then. Peace.
Finger thumbnail.
Everybody know we here for entertainment and info. Gonna show you how to get that big dough. So every day stay tapped in. For big facts, no capping. With Bitcoin, if you're in, then you win. We divide the pie with no fraction. It's Big Rob, David. I spit the game, but they gave it. Named according to your favorite. I got dry powder, why save it? To the OGs, new beginners. Special shout out to the well members. Buy the dip, sell winners. Ain't really nothing you can tell sinners. Tune in for the latest new flavors. They gonna teach us mean coins. They polarizing like barbecue chicken pizzas. I laugh with a major grin. Laggers, we trade them in. Baddies, they came to sin. And sinners gon' play to win. Screaming, hola, till my bags are flowing over. Hold ya to the moon and to the solar. Won't I? Don't be letting FOMO control ya. It's over when the finger tornado close ya.